Welcome to Japan. In this video we're going to talk about everything that you need to know as a first-time visitor to Japan. Like a long snake that just keeps going. Alright, so two important things to know when you get to Japan is about pocket Wi-Fi and the IC card. Here we have the pocket Wi-Fi on the left and we have an IC card on the right. And as the video progresses, we'll talk a little bit more in detail at what these are and what they do. When you first arrive in Japan, you're going to be pretty much confronted with scenes like this, especially at the subway where you're going to spend a lot of your time. The subway is the main way of transportation in the Tokyo metro area. So when you get to the subway, most subways have a map that looks like this. And if it's your first time in the Tokyo subway, a map like this can be a little bit confusing. So it's good to have a plan of action how you're going to travel the metro system. And this is pretty much where the pocket Wi-Fi here on the left comes in play. This allows you not to have to deal with long distance rates, internet charges, and spotty internet service. One of the reasons you need reliable internet service is so you can use Google Maps. Now Google Maps are going to be your best bet for getting around in Tokyo. So I'll use Google Maps here as an example. Let's see if you can try to get to see Godzilla in Shinjuku. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my phone here, and you can see there's Google Maps. Right now I'm in Shinagawa Station, and I'm going to type Shinjuku, and it's going to present me with two routes. And you can see doing it this way is a lot better than looking at a map and trying to figure out where to go. I mean, this map could be a little bit confusing if you're not used to it. It's going to show me how much the different options cost. So using your phone, using the Google Maps is your best bet. And here we're presented with two routes. One of them has a stop in Yoyogi Station, and then from Yoyogi Station it goes to Shinjuku. And then the second option here, it's a direct train to Shinjuku, and it's about 194 yen. And here we are. We made it to Shinjuku, and we have Godzilla here. And again, as you can see, it's a lot better than using the maps at the subway station and trying to figure it out. Keep in mind that the subways open at 5 in the morning and end about midnight. After you miss the last train at midnight, you are going to have to take a taxi. After midnight, there is no subway transportation. Another great resource that you can get more information from is tokyometro.jp. And here you can get information on the Tokyo subway system. They have comprehensive information. They have a map here that you can see all the different lines that make up the subway system. And it looks a little bit confusing, but in reality you're going to spend most of your time here in this oval here, this circle, which is the Yamanote line. And all these stations off the Yamanote line is where you get to the touristy places and all the things that you want to see. And if you want more information, you can just Google Yamanote line. It'll give you more information, but the majority of the time you will be spending is on the Yamanote line. Alright, so once you reach the airport, it's very important that you have a plan in place on how you reach your final destination.
Just picked up our bags. Now we're going to get the Wi-Fi and the bus tickets.
So here when you get to the airport, this is where you want to pick up your IC card and where you want to pick up your pocket Wi-Fi. They have counters like this all over the airport, Narita or Haneda, that you can pick up your pocket Wi-Fi. And again, looking at tokyometro.jp, it'll give you information on how to get to your final destination from either Narita Airport or from Haneda Airport. And the options basically are taxi, subway system, or a bus. I highly recommend that if you're staying in a hotel that you take the limousine bus service, only because the limousine bus service is going to put you at your hotel. If you take the subway system, you will need to take a taxi to your final destination. The other thing is with the subway, it can get crowded, you have luggage. I prefer to take the bus. It's relatively inexpensive, and it will put you at your hotel at the lobby. So you can get more information on this at tokyometro.jp.
We're waiting for the bus right here at number 4. We have to stay within this line right here. And there's a system to everything. There's no madness in this place. And it's very muggy right now. So we'll wait for the bus.
So what I ended up doing, and what I recommend that you do, is reserve your bus tickets. I went to limousinebus.co.jp, and it's a pretty straightforward. Gives you information from either Narita Airport or Haneda. And with the limousine bus service, it's going to put you directly at your final destination, at your hotel. And it's relatively inexpensive. You can see here it's straightforward. You pick your time schedule and you reserve the tickets for that time schedule. Here you can see the list of hotels or the route information, and it stops at many hotels. You have to go on the website and check it. It's relatively inexpensive. It's about 3,100 yen for an adult. And you can see here the bus is pretty comfortable. It's a nice view. It takes about 60 minutes from Narita to your destination or downtown Tokyo. And if you don't reserve your tickets, you can always go to the ticket counter at Narita or Haneda. In this case, we're showing information for Narita. And it shows you where the bus stops, and it gives you a lot of information. And again, the bus is fairly comfortable. It's got AC. One thing that's very important to point out is if you reserve your tickets online for that specific time, you get that seat. If you don't, and you come into Narita and you get your ticket from the ticket counter, if the bus is full, you're gonna have to wait for the next bus, which is not a big deal. So you don't necessarily have to reserve, but I recommend that you reserve. And this is the best way to get to your final destination. If you don't use the bus and you have Airbnb, you can take the subway, and then from the subway onto your final destination, onto your Airbnb, you're gonna have to take a taxi. So when you come to Tokyo, get ready to deal with large crowds pretty much everywhere you go, especially at touristy destinations, on the trains themselves, and at train stations. Alright guys, I'm in Shinagawa Station, and it's about 9 o'clock, and look at the sea of people. If I was here around 7:30, 8 o'clock, it would be worse. But these are all people going to work. I'm obviously going the other way, but look at this. It's like a river. This is nothing, actually. This is actually good. I remember the first time I got here on a Tuesday, I think it was. I couldn't even move in here. It was that bad. Here we go. The train just stopped. This is gonna be fun. You just sweat staying here. Like sweat just beads off your body. That's how much people there is. It might actually not be bad. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Wow. Everybody's pushing everybody. Summertime can be very muggy in Tokyo, but these trains have AC. They're fairly clean. As you can see here, everybody keeps to themselves as much as they can. They do get crowded. Nobody's talking on the phone. They're playing games, but not talking and yelling at the phone. You're not going to see performers on the train playing guitars and music. I mean, everybody just keeps to themselves.
It's insane.
Gives you as much space as they can, although it's a little bit crowded sometimes. Follow the arrows when you walk by. This is where you know how to get around and how to not bump into people. So when you get to Japan, you want to follow the signs, follow the arrows, especially at the train stations. Japan is very orderly. Keep an eye out for the signs and basically do what they tell you. What you want to do in the escalators or anywhere else is basically keep to your left. Here you can see these people on the escalator are staying to their left to allow somebody to pass on the right. Japanese people are very courteous and follow the rules, and so should you. Alright guys, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Right? I woke up to get a few rice balls, set my day off, get some sushi. And here I am, I'm looking at this line right next to my hotel. I'm like, is this the line for the arcade? And yeah, it's the line for the arcade. And it's 9 o'clock, and it goes all the way around the corner. This is incredible. Only in Japan can you be on a train and see like grown-ass men, like 40 years old, playing on their Nintendo DS. Look at the size of this line. This is for an arcade that's about to open, which I'm going to check out later,
because it gets crazy, but damn, unbelievable, huh? Only in Japan. I don't know what this says, but they're waiting.
So it's a fact of life. When you're in Tokyo, you're going to be waiting lines to eat, lines to get into the train. Pretty much wherever you go, there's going to be a line, especially at peak times for restaurants. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. There is going to be queues and you're going to be waiting. So when you get to Japan, obviously you're going to have to deal with money, and there's two ways to go about this. You can carry a lot of money in the pocket, a lot of change, or you can go ahead and use an IC card. Here on the right, we have an IC card. It's a Passmo card. There's also Suica cards. And as you can see here, you can use these at convenience stores to pay for things. You can use them as train tickets to get on the train. And then to use your card, you just come over here, put the card in this blue thing, and go. That's pretty much it. And it gives you a balance of what you have left and how much it was. Also, when you first get to Japan, there's these kiosks at the airport that you can go ahead and purchase an IC card. It's very straightforward to do. You can purchase a Passmo or a Suica, and it's very easy to purchase them. They're all over the airports, and I highly recommend that you get a Suica or a Passmo card, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. Instead of taking out money, trying to figure out how much something is, you present the card and it pays for it. Restaurants all over the place. All the food in the windows is not real food. It's all fake. See, it's all fake. All fake. So one of your cheaper options for food is what the Japanese call a konbini store, or a convenience store. And this is basically going to be your best option for cheap food. And the convenience stores here in Japan, New Days, Lawson's, they have awesome food like the onigiri that you see here. It's cheap and it fills you up. And what I was doing when I was in Japan was I would eat at the convenience stores or the pre-made food places, and then I would have a nice expensive dinner. But there's many fast food places. You can see here KFC, they have burger joints. Now I know when you come to Japan you probably want to eat Japanese food, and the convenience stores have all that. They have wine, they have sake, they have, like I said, the onigiri, they have green tea, which if you go in the summer you'll be drinking a lot of green tea. The convenience stores are just a really great source for cheap food, and I was living off these onigiris during the day at least. They really fill you up, they have different fillings, and they're really delicious. And as you can see, there's a lot of them here now, but come the weekend when everybody's drunk, they're pretty much all gone. Another cheap alternative is Kaiten style sushi. As you can see here, for a cheap price you could just sit there and pick your sushi from a kiosk and it comes to you, so there's nobody waiting on you. So it's another cheap alternative, and the sushi is fairly good. Also ramen, Japan is known for ramen, so here you have some ramen noodles, and there's a lot of ramen noodle joints all over Tokyo, and again, a good source of food. Also, as you can see here, another cheap alternative is a Japanese fast food place called Tempura Bowl. Again, really delicious. Obviously, they serve a lot of tempura. It's inexpensive and it's really good. It is a popular fast food place, so there is queues at certain times. One of my favorite things is pre-made sushi. As you can see, for 580 yen and 750 yen, you can get pre-made sushi. The quality is outstanding. It's really good. Supermarkets towards the end of the day will have discounted items. Another thing that many people don't know, Japan is known for their desserts. They have awesome desserts, especially at the convenience store. One of the best desserts I ever had was at the convenience store. It was this dessert right here on the right. It was just incredible. Whatever you do, stay away from the grapes. I'm not really sure, but the grapes, as you can see here, they're very expensive. 3,000 yen and 2,000 yen. That's about $30 and $20. Not really sure why they're expensive. If you know why, leave a comment. So when in Japan, do what Japanese do, and at certain places and certain times you will have to take your shoes off. If it's a private residence or even some restaurants, depending on the restaurant, they might make you take the shoe off. So just be aware of that. Make sure you have good foot hygiene. So when you come to Japan, Japan is exactly what you expect it to be. It's fun, it's silly, it's cute at times, and it has awesome desserts, especially the crepes. I highly recommend you try those. And of course, it's green tea everything. Everything in this country is made out of green tea. The ice creams are just incredible. The sushi is some of the best you're ever going to have. Enjoy all of this, and of course, enjoy the culture and have fun in Japan. So if you enjoyed this video and you got some information out of it, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, put a like, or leave a comment. I make videos about everything and anything, and I hope that you subscribe. Thank you for watching.